Good morning, guys. Okay, if you remember from yesterday, I did the thumbnails and I've done practically the whole first chapter of my thumbnails. Yay! And then I did the establishing shots. What I screwed up in the last video, first, like the types of shots, is you want at least one of each of these per page. Usually if you're like doing a huge establishing shot, you can get away with two of them, but if you're doing like conversation piece, you're always going to want some sort of an establishing shot to give you your location, your medium shot for your conversation and that kind of stuff, and any like action between two characters, and then your close-ups for your reactions of your characters. It's just good to practice making sure you have one of each of these panels on your page. You can have a couple of the mid or close-ups if you want, and or maybe a couple of establishing shots depending on like if you're changing location or something like that, but always try to hit at least those three in your panels. And then I took the first page and blew it up. I also changed a few of the panels so that I worked in the character Bebe, and I worked in more of what's happening with the comic. So on the first page, you get an understanding of that Tweak is late for school, and it's okay though because there has been an issue with their model for the day. Anyways, oh, the crappiness of my storytelling. Anyway, yeah. So this page is page 2, and I'm basically just working up getting Tweak entering the room, Bebe waving to him. She saved him an easel, which is kind of not clear, but like I'm gonna put her here and put him here. And then we see the podium in front of them, and the teacher is going to be getting up onto the podium. Anyone who hasn't done a life drawing session, there's usually a podium for the model to stand on. It's like a big wooden box essentially that they can move around on so that everyone has the same view of the model, and they're a little bit higher, especially if you have a very full class. Luckily, well, I did actually have really full classes in my first few years in school, and then people slowly dwindled out. Oh, the realities of art school when you actually realize it's hard. Yeah, my school was one of those kind of money grab schools. They did actually teach things really, really well, but the first year I always found they let in everybody. Like, I mean everybody. Even if you had never picked up a pencil before, but you had an interest in art, they would let you in, and then they would weed you out, and a lot of people would get stuck into the oh, if you take our first year again, you'll get better and you'll be able to move on in this. So they actually tricked a lot of people just to retake their first year, it was like 10 grand a year, which is cheap, it's probably way more now, which was relatively cheap compared to some other schools that I had been looking at, but it's still a lot of money. And I found their methods to be a little shady and a little underhanded, and I became really jaded later on in the school because I was constantly having to defend my classmates from, I think I did a video on this, on like how I had to constantly be like, no, this person isn't, like, don't throw this person out of the school, like, we're like a month away from the ending of class, please don't throw this person out, they are just really stressed and stuff with schoolwork. Like, I had to make, there would have been at least 3 people that wouldn't have graduated if I wouldn't have like done that. But it's one of those things where you just like, I had so much stress just dealing with trying to keep my classmates in school because of the woman who ran it didn't like them, that I was kind of like, oh fuck, like, I can't deal with this shit right now. Like, I was so stressed out. So, yeah, don't ever get into the position that I was in. Just keep your nose to the grindstone and focus on your own work and try not to be a hero. You will be much less stressed than I was, trust me. Alright, I need Tweak to be a little bit taller. I know you're a short ass, but whatever. Anyway. And so just kind of block in the characters here. I'll just have his hands kind of reaching up for that clip. And Bebe. I'm trying to like raise his height, but this is the one problem I have is I make my characters lower in the panel than I need to. And then Bebe is right here. And she's giving him a thumbs up. And he's like, pourquoi? And then we're gonna have a reveal of on here, which will have, we'll just throw in the easels. So there's like a portion of the easel here and like a portion of the person. And then we'll see like the main stage. Oh dear. And the other easel, which will be Bebe's easel. So Bebe will kind of be here, peeking around. That needs to be lower. So it's kind of like a push and pull thing. You have to figure out where your stuff is going to go on the panel and just kind of push and pull it until you get it right. This is why it's always good to do roughs, like rough ups, and then you can like really work around with layout and stuff like that. Your thumbnails give you your basic what you want in your panels. Your roughs give you your more defined like tighten lines and perspective and like where everything is going to go. This is technically a rough stage. I will take this and put it into Photoshop and ink it and do everything on there. Working in some bubbles. Yeah, so that kind of like, that's just kind of the process of making comics, is it's like push and pull, figuring out what's working, making sure that your backgrounds are like lining up and like you've got your space represented properly, making sure your characters fit on panel properly and you don't have awkward cuts. That's kind of like, those are all things you need to be thinking about. It's like one of those really annoying things that like a lot of people can just do it naturally, and me, I struggle with it all the time. So that's why I don't make as many comics as I should. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video of me like kind of roughing in a comic. Yeah, I will be posting this on Tapas. It will be free, obviously. It's fan comics. I'm not going to charge you guys for those. And I will be posting it on my Tweak and Craig Creek Tumblr account that I have. I will leave a link in the description below when I actually finish the comic and post it. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye, guys.